family experienced true evil while traveling on a crowded train in Tokyo, Japan. Their son, Kenji, was often treated differently because he was half white and half Japanese. Kenji was just about 2 years old when he and his mom and dad got on this crowded train. Kenji was a friendly child. He would say hello and smile to anyone who looked at him. Kenji and his dad were standing by the train door, holding hands as it pulled into the next station. Two businessmen in suits got on the train, walking and talking about a meeting they had just gotten out of. These men were rather tall and caught the attention of Kenji. He looked up with a big smile on his face and watched them as they spoke. But being watched by a 2-year-old seemed to bother one of the men, perhaps due to Kenji being half white. One of the men looked down at him. Kenji smiled and said "Konnichiwa" to the man. What happened next unfolded so quickly it felt like a single moment. The man kicked Kenji right in the chest with so much force that Kenji was knocked against the train's door. Completely unaware of what just happened, Kenji looked up at the man again, smiling. Kenji's dad then moved quickly towards him to pick him up. And as he did, the man moved in and kicked Kenji again with even greater force. At this very moment, the train's doors had just begun to open for the next train stop. There was a gap between the train and the platform, and Kenji's leg fell in. Kenji started to scream and panic. Someone on the train pushed the emergency button. People started to scramble to get away from the scene, and then the family witnessed true evil. Both businessmen started laughing hysterically at the toddler stuck between the train and the platform. With the help of a few strangers, Kenji's parents managed to pull him out to safety. Kenji's mom picked him up and ran for the police station office to alert the staff or police of what just happened. Kenji's dad wanted nothing more than to beat these men within an inch of their lives, but instead hesitated. He knew that if he did, he risked being deported due to being American and being a foreigner in the country. As he held back more rage than one person should ever have to feel in their life, he got off the train and ran to catch up with his wife and Kenji. They were able to file a report, but they were left disappointed to find that the police didn't seem interested in pursuing the case since Kenji wasn't seriously injured. The family went home and began to tell their family what had happened that day. One of those people happened to be Kenji's uncle, who owned a chain of bars in Tokyo. Because of this, he had a very strong relationship with the Yakuza gang. When Kenji's mom and dad first got married, it was a bit controversial in some parts of his mom's family because his dad was a foreigner, but his uncle always had a good relationship with his dad, and he loved Kenji. When he was told about what had happened, he didn't ask any further questions. He just said he would handle it. The family then didn't speak about the incident for over a year, but one night Kenji's dad and uncle were drinking pretty heavily and in deep conversation. Kenji's dad asked what he meant when he said that he would handle the situation that day. What he proceeded to say shocked him. Speaking in Japanese, Kenji's uncle, with a cold look in his eyes, said, "My men took the culprits to the same train station, tied them to the same tracks," he added, pausing to sip his drink, "and forced them to watch as the train ran over the very legs they used to hurt Kenji." Kenji's dad, stunned, couldn't find the words to respond. The uncle leaned in closer, a sinister smile forming on his face. As the train approached, my men stood back, and the culprits started to scream. But the only sound louder than their screams, the uncle whispered, was the laughter of my men echoing through the station.